And today I am going to walk you through an important topic in Arabic LLM. And to continue our series in Arabic NLP, let's discuss Arabic LLM evaluation. And the motivation behind this work that I have worked on with my colleagues is simple but very powerful. It's all about Arabic large language models, which are growing fast, but yet the way we evaluate them has not kept pace. And this paper actually tries to establish a theoretical guidelines for Arabic LLM evaluation. And also we are trying to introduce Arabic Depth Mini Datasets. And this dataset demonstrates how currently the models perform when tested against deep culturally grounded Arabic questions. And the motivation behind this work is making a starting point for this research, and most Arabic evaluation benchmarks actually focus on translation, accuracy, or task correctness, or other things, but unfortunately it ignores cultural alignment, domain expertise, and linguistic richness. And in many cases, datasets were directly translated from English and without any cultural awareness or alignment. And actually, this is like creates problems. For instance, models might get high scores in Arabic grammar questions, right? But they fail in understanding the culture context, and which is actually it is very, very essential when it comes to real Arabic communication. Okay, so our research objectives were to develop a complete set of theoretical guidelines for building Arabic evaluation datasets, addressing, of course, linguistic, cultural, methodological aspects, and then to create a new dataset to serve uh, as a benchmark to evaluate these Arabic LLMs. It's already available on Hugging Face, and it's actually contains 490 questions from 10 different major domains and 42 sub domains. Okay, so let's take some background about the existing benchmarks, and before going to the new framework. So what we try to do is to take examples, for example, GPT or Eval or Arabic NMLU or AraTrust or different benchmark, and we try to see the pattern. Okay, and what we have found actually is that many datasets rely heavily on translated content. Few are written originally from Arabic experts, and also documentation is often missing or inconsistent. And the main issue is that culture adaptation is almost non-existent. So in short, most benchmarks measures like accuracy but not understanding. So we have found also common weaknesses when it comes to these benchmarks. For example, linguistic inconsistency or culture misalignment. Also there is, as I told you, like weak documentation, attribution, and also there's like a shallow in domain coverage. And let me go here and discuss an important topics. Some people say, okay, we did it on purpose, so we let the LLM to learn the mistakes, not only the ideal solution. And somehow I agree with this, but when it comes to something like Quran or speech that we cannot do on purpose mistake on it, this is something very dangerous, and we need to think twice before doing this. So this is many of the weaknesses that we have found, and that's why we try to solve these issues by building a comprehensive theoretical framework. And It is structured in a way to address linguistic standards, culture alignment, and then methodological and structural standards. Introducing also like evaluator requirements. So, for example, when it comes to linguistic standards, we need to ensure grammatical accuracy, proper translation, orthographic consistency. It is important. But when it comes to cultural alignment, we need to make sure that examples reflect Arabic society, ethics, and traditions. And then we need to validate the data sources and ensure dataset depth and diversity. Then we need to set clear qualifications, right? And for evaluators and guidelines. So they must be proficient in both Arabic language and domain knowledge. So this is what we did. Then we tried to build a cultural alignment guidelines, and this is something important we need to do and to focus on when we're building this. So we stress the need of adapt ethical content, culture content, and also the terms, for example, business ethics in Western benchmarks should be like fiqh al-muamalat, okay? This is like a very rooted in Islamic and Arabic tradition. So this shift that we try to do to moves us from measuring linguistic performance to measuring cultural competence. And that is one of the key theoretical contribution of this paper. Then what we did is to evaluate this on existing datasets, and actually the best dataset, like, okay, they have scored like 7 out of 10, but when it comes to culture values, they received like a low scores. And then we introduce ADMD, or the Arabic Depth Mini Dataset. As I mentioned, it contains 490 handcrafted questions coming from 10 major domains and 42 subdomains, from linguistic, Islamic studies to culture, philosophy, and computational sciences. And each question was written from experts from different countries and also covered different topics. Okay. Then we have selected some models to test the new benchmark on it, and we have some key results. Like each model were manually reviewed by human evaluators, because what we have found when it comes to LLM as a judge, with these methods actually was unreliable for non-English tests. This make the results like more trustworthy, and this is what we wanted to report in the paper. And yeah, we can see, for example, Sonnet, like Claude Sonnet achieved good results here. But like most models fail on Islamic and linguistic tasks. Okay, we have some questions here, and this is like what the paper tried to raise for the community. So first, why do multilingual models struggle with Arabic? And then how do we measure cultural competence in LLMs? Then should evaluation move from translation-based to native authored benchmarks? And lastly, how can academic and national institutions collaborate on Arabic evaluation? And let me be honest with you. Now, currently, we have some great contributions for the Arabic LLM community coming from different universities, from different countries, in building these evaluations in the right way. And these efforts are really great, and this is what we actually need. So we left in the paper some of the limitation, which is like the evaluation was manual, but we wanted also to show the accuracy, but it is of course time consuming. And some domains like physics, medicine were excluded because of the lack of experts, but we need to do this in the near future. So this is some of the future work that we wanted to do, and this is what I also wanted to emphasize in this video. because when it comes to building a guidelines to practice, it is more than an evaluation paper, and it could be like a blueprint for culturally aware Arabic AI. And it shows that Arabic is not just another language to translate, but also a knowledge system, rich with its like own philosophy, ethics, and culture. So that's all for this video. I hope that you find it useful, and thank you for listening.